What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry about the little bit of feedback you guys are going to hear. I'll try to keep up on the comments. I wish I could just sort of check out of this other one and maybe keep an eye on the comments for you guys that are in here. But I have to be on two devices just like last time. You guys were with me last week on Thursday. Welcome, everybody that's here on a Thursday night. We're usually here on Wednesdays, obviously. Um, but I had to switch it tonight for Shiloh. So Massive Creations. And I do want to let everybody know, as well as you, that Professor P will not be able to make it tonight. He had, I guess, somebody in his family was sick yesterday. He caught it a little bit, so he was feeling under the weather tonight. So he will try to be with us next Wednesday night. So, I'll say that again probably in the next hour. I do apologize for that. But we do have Jay with Next Generation here tonight. We have Marcus with
Howdy.
Golden Road Seco here tonight. And we do have in the second hour, we'll only go to probably uh, 10 o'clock tonight due to Shiloh will be 9 to 10 tonight, guys. And you guys are welcome to hang out. Marcus, obviously, Jay, you as well. You guys can hang out through the whole 2 hours if you want. If you guys have um, previous things to do, you guys are welcome to leave at the end too. So,
Well, for me, I'm in Spain. It's 2 a.m. here, so it's been a long day.
okay. That's a big, I didn't realize you were in Spain. Okay. I
Yeah.
thought you were in Canada for some reason. So are you based out of
No, I
Canada or?
lived back there for a few years and I've bounced around and I prefer Spain. So
Okay, yeah, I probably don't blame you. It's cold in Canada. That's first of
yeah, it's
all.
minus
So
30 right now where my partner is in Edmonton. So
yeah, that's no fun. Not
no,
not for me.
Yeah, yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So cool. So I wanted to have both of you guys in here tonight. I figured it would make it a little bit easier because I'm not too, um, I don't really know exactly who you are, Jay. So it's good to meet you, like I had said already. And I'd love to hear about, next generation seeds, and get into genetics and, what you've been doing for the last however many years, when you started, um, all those things.
I can give you a brief breakdown. I started up in Vancouver, Canada in 1997, 96, 97. With Federation. That only lasted a year or so. And I started my own thing with Next Generation. And I worked in Vancouver and on the West Coast, breeding a lot of varieties outdoors where it's wet up until about 2009. And I made my first move to Spain at that point. And I stayed here until Canada legalized cannabis. And when Canada legalized, I moved back to Canada and I tried to open a legal facility, but all the restrictions for running a seed company were so difficult because of all the interprovincial rules and the tax regulations, and I would have been prohibited from selling my seeds internationally if I would join the legal system.
Right.
So in the end, it was just too difficult, and I went down to South America for a few years, and that was fun to test my genetics in that type of climate in Argentina and Chile. That was great to try out all the strains that I can't grow outdoors in Canada. But in the end, the corruption and just the problems down in Argentina, I just after a few years, I wrapped it up and moved back to Spain. It's where it was easiest to grow, uh, nicest place to live, and the food's good. So I'm back in Spain working out of here, and my partner in Canada is holding down the fort, doing all our shipping out of Canada, and most of our seed stock is there. But I'm doing breeding in both places.
Okay.
So I've been working now in Spain with some partners that I used to grow with before, and we're working on the triploids and polyploids. Um, my Spanish partner knows more about that. I've only been dabbling with it, but he's been
Okay.
working on a few of my varieties. He's made a polyploid version of my Romulan and my Dynamite and a few others. So just in a bit of a testing phase right now.
Yeah, the Romulan. I mentioned him. I knew Federation. I said I would probably be curious about your Romulan, and I'm also curious about if we can eventually maybe get some of your seeds on this on the site here in America. So but that's something we could talk about at some other time. Um, but yeah, so you work with the Romulans. So what are some of the other strains that you work with? Like what what are you working with now?
Well, I have my standard catalog. I'm got a catalog up to about 40, 50 strains, and then I'm always making hybrids like most breeders. Always experimenting with new stuff. But a lot of my stuff that I've been breeding with is my own varieties that I've had since the late '90s,
Okay.
and I do hybridize with other companies' stuff here and there when something really stands out. But I tend to keep my own varieties, my inbred lines, and not cross it out, and keep like my Romulan strain, obviously, Dynamite, Island Sweet Skunk, and my first strain I ever made, and probably my favorite, is the Avalon. And it was originally bred, my first strain I ever made, an original Afghani hash plant, and I crossed that with the old blueberry from the mid '90s. And then after that, I grew it outdoors, and I kept selectively breeding for mold resistance on the West Coast. On Vancouver Island, it rains hard.
Yeah.
So after a few years of selectively breeding outdoors, I have a strain that will go through most rainstorms and survive well close to frost. And that's one of my favorites, the Avalon. And there's been a lot of success out on the East Coast with it. I know friends in New York State and in Maine and Newfoundland and everywhere out east, they like it too. So
Yeah, I think that's important. I think people are looking for things they know are going to do well outdoors, especially like you said on the East Coast, California, northern, northern West Coast as well, but especially on the East Coast, especially Northeast. So um, yeah, and so what are you working on now? You have anything new coming up? What was your most recent
um,
release?
I'm just trying to keep right now, just keeping our catalog fresh. I've got a lot of varieties to keep made. But there's a few other crosses I've been working on with some Colombian Reds and some Punto Rojo, some Colombian genetics, and some old Oaxacan Mexican varieties from way back. So I'm doing some of that. I'm re-releasing a few of my strains in regular as well. So
Okay, so you said okay, so you're going to release some of your strange and regs. So you do a lot of fem stuff. Is that what you?
mostly femmes, mostly
Oh, okay,
femmes.
okay.
But I'm coming back around to doing over the last 10, 15 years, the whole market switched to feminized, and we barely sold any regulars. And now within the last few years, we're getting more interest again. The old timers are coming back, or the people that are just looking for good, solid mother strains, they're starting to come back to the regulars. So I'm happy to
Absolutely.
see that.
Yeah, I think people, I get asked this question in here right now. I guarantee you most people will say that they prefer rigs, but I do see, running a seed bank, I see the sales don't always correlate to people saying that. But I do
Yeah.
think there are a lot of people out there, especially with genetics like you had, like Mark has as well, that they want to find and they want to continue. They want to, hybridize, make a line out of something special, old school. So it's just nice that both of you guys on here, really, because both of you guys really like to focus on stuff that old school. I'll just say it like that. So cool. Have you guys done
Yeah.
anything together? Are you guys planning anything? Just out of curiosity.
No, but some of Jason's strains were staples for me, and I got a lot of love for Canada because when all the Dutch seed banks got raided, um, none of the go-tos that we depended on were available anymore. So the only next option was Canada. So I've had a long-standing relationship with Canadian breeders. It took a lot of trial and error, to be honest, because some of them just had inconsistent junk. I'm not going to name any names. So when I finally locked it down to the top two or three, I was very happy about it. Because like I said, the tried and true Dutch seed banks all fell off as a result of raids and losing mother stock. And the
Yeah.
smart Canadians F2'd that work or continued it and hybridized it because they were the best genetics anybody could get. I feel still to this day.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed too the reputation of the Dutch and Spanish seeds in South America when I was down there, And I know from being here in Spain, most Dutch companies now, they just buy their seeds here in Spain wholesale, and they don't even breed their own seeds anymore.
No, they're all white labeled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all
I know
white
somebody
label.
else. I know somebody else that went out to Spain recently, or they're in Spain as well. I know that's Leo aficionado. I don't know if you guys know each other or not from being out there.
No, I've
Okay,
heard of them. Yeah.
I know
okay,
Leo.
yeah, I think they're out in Spain. You know, they are. I know they're out in Spain. It's the only other breeder that I know that is actually out in Spain that actually does good work. So you being another person at this point. So, um,
Yeah.
and I'm listen.
Spain's
I
got to
just want
be.
to say to everybody in the comments real quick. I
Okay.
do see your comments. I feel like I want to open it up to your guys' questions in about 15 minutes. I mean, I can go back and try to put some of these questions up, but it's a little bit harder for me than usual when I'm on the laptop to be able to see your guys' questions. So, um, I figure we can get into it till about 8:30 and then open it up to your guys' questions. So I will say if you guys don't mind holding the questions and keep your questions, in your head, in about 15 minutes we'll open it up to your guys' questions and I'll start pinning them up on the screen. So um okay, so back to the old school genetics. So you've been doing this since the 90s, basically.
I think we both have, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I mean, that's where I come from. That's my generation right there, and I miss a lot of what we had then. You brought up the blueberry, island sweet skunk. So I'd love to see. I do see some people in here that are growing your gear already. I do see that. I would love to see your menu and you know, what you got coming up. So,
we
but
came we came from an era when bag appeal wasn't priority. Like, you didn't want it to look like lumber in a bag, obviously, but we were all about effects and
Yes.
flavor. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
exactly.
not necessarily the frostiest thing. It never occurred. That became more of an Instagram thing. But I breed things that get me high or get me stoned, and I have a high tolerance. So I'm not even going to waste my time, getting the seeds wet unless it's something that I think has medical benefits of some sort.
Yeah. Yeah. With my breeding, I tend to, it's always been selecting for flavor,
Yep,
and the
terps.
enjoyability of the high. And before there was any testing for terps or THC levels and all that, for the first 20 years of our breeding, we didn't have any of that. We just based on the ease of growth and the quality of the high and the flavor. And for me,
yeah,
flavor is number one. I'll
number
take a
one,
lower THC if I have the high terpene
absolutely.
levels,
Yeah, I'm
any
not
day.
sure where the well, I am sure actually. It all changed because of like, the dispensary being able to walk in and see these high THC percentages on a jar,
Money
which is
changed
wild
it.
because we are from back then. We did not give a shit. We didn't care what the name was. Shit, it made no difference. I don't care. It made no difference. I mean, it's good that we are where we are now and we know what things are, but that never mattered. It was all about the terps. It's always been. So for me, especially as well.
Yeah.
I always put terps even above. I mean, it's terps effects are right there, but it's got to taste good. Terps have to be
Yes. If
there.
it's not doesn't taste good, it's not staying in the mother room. It's
Yep.
why.
And
It,
I do think we did get to a point in the 90s. I have to disagree a little bit because I feel like we're in a time now where bag appeal means nothing at all. Back then, I honestly feel like it actually meant something because beautiful buds back then translated into like, it just translated. When you saw a bag of dank back then, it always translated. It's just not like that now. So, not that it was like the main thing, but that was something that was somewhat important back in the 90s, at least for me, because it was a way to just determine whether something was dank or not, because it usually translated back then. It doesn't now.
Yeah.
It's just different now. So,
Yeah.
um,
Back then up in Vancouver in Canada, we a lot of the nice pretty buds stayed in Canada, and the rest was just sold bulk to the US. And it just everything was just called Beasters if we shipped it south.
yeah,
So
the Beasters. That's why I say you guys fucked us up a little bit because it was the BC was dank in the very beginning, and then it was the Beasters. That's what it was. Like the
it was just a
BC.
generic term we used for stuff going south that we couldn't sell at home.
Yeah, and we had yep, yep.
I gotta say though, we had a pipeline for a good decade of the triple A's and the quad A's from Canada, and they were beautiful. We were getting
Yeah.
Tom Ford Pink We were getting the tuna Kush. We were getting a purple Kush that I would give a limb for to find those genetics again. And people would know if I was at a music festival by the area I was in because they could smell that purple Kush before they saw me.
Okay.
And I
Sweet.
fall into the category where I fall that same category, but I lived down here then in the 90s. So I moved here when I graduated high school, and we had, I say it all the time because it was just, it's my island strain, like the Super Silver Haze, this Cat Pispino we used to get right here in Miami from, the Cubans is where it came from. And I would go to a Dead show, and I would know if I went into that section that I gave somebody a bag or they got a bag from me in
Mhm.
that section. It was that unique and that, because it came from Florida on tour with the Dead, different places. I always knew it was from me. There was no denying or questioning it. So
It's funny the
pretty
way
cool.
terpenes can be associated with nostalgia and things like that. Because another example is if I'd be playing in an upstate New York music festival, I could always tell where the kids from Rochester were because they had a strain there called Adirondack Gold, and I knew that distinct nose. And that's another lost strain. I think I've only ever seen it mentioned once or twice on the internet ever. So if anybody hears that and they have access to Adirondack Gold, please holler at me because that was incredible, incredible bud.
Let's go.
Yeah, there's a lot of strains from back then I wish we had. Yeah, that were just lost. Like the old Matanuska Thunderfuck. There's another one from
The
Alaska.
MTF. Yep. The MTF.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was when it was the real deal. It was good.
Yeah, I hate the
And
renaming stuff like what we knew then to what people call now. You're just like that's not it. That's just not. So again, that goes back to appreciating what you guys do by trying to preserve and continue lines of stuff that you've held for long periods of time.
That being said, maybe it would be a good topic to ask Jason his take on the Romulan story and how that strain came to be, since there's a lot of
I would love to hear it.
contrary beliefs.
Yeah,
there,
I would love to hear it.
yeah.
I,
Well, there is a lot of contrary stories and rumors. I know Romulan Joe personally, and he back in the day when the first stories came out in High Times, I think it was around 95 or 96, and they did a story on the Romulan. And whoever was reporting it at the time called him Mendocino Joe. And
okay.
for some reason, they confused him with somebody else. And he's not from Mendocino at all. He's from Ontario, from Eastern Canada. And but when they said that, he just stuck with it because he liked the idea of having a fake name.
Like
And
at a
we
different
never used our
location.
real names or faces back then. So if you say you're from somewhere else, he was just happy to go with it. And
100%. 100%. Yeah, we didn't want anybody to know who we were back then.
Yeah,
That's just the reality of it.
my tour name was not my real name.
So they used to call me Jake. That's definitely not my name. So I was called Jake for a long time. But yeah.
yeah.
So
So yeah, according to Joe, that cut was from a couple old Korean War vets that had been breeding old Colombian and Mexican strains, trying to shorten them down. This is before the days of lights, other than a few stolen street lights they used, I think.
no.
And
I might have known someone who did that.
yeah,
Maybe.
maybe someone.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, they selected down from the Colombian and Mexicans,
So
and
I thought it had Asian genetics in it. That's correct, right?
yeah. Well, I was
Yeah.
always, but it grows nothing like a sativa. It grows like a squat little indica. But they did outcross it once to an early Afghani, and the original clone, I believe they kept in the early 90s. So when I grew the clone for years, and back in Vancouver when I was testing out lots of Colombian genetics, a lot of wild stuff, and I came across one line of Colombian varieties that had the structure was completely different. Big, tall plants, but the buds themselves and the quality of the smell, everything hit just like the original Romulan. But just a completely different structure. So I'm pretty confident there's a good large percentage of Colombian of some sort dominant in there, but it doesn't grow like a sativa. And that's Joe's story to me, and that's the best I can go by. There's other ones out there,
Right.
but that's the one I know. And
And is that
that's
the
what,
one That's the one Federation had, right? That's the same one
yes, yes,
Federation. That's
yeah.
what I
We
thought.
have the same cut, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay, and that's what you still have now. That's what you're working with still.
Correct.
And
Okay.
I can confirm, because I grew the Federation Romulan and had it around in PA for a while, that Jason's Hawaiian Indica and the Island Sweet Skunk are the original thread, because they came from Federation, if anybody was wondering.
Yeah, I was the partner in Federation for the first year and a half, and then me and the other guy, we just kind of went our own ways. And he was a heat bag. He was always doing things to get busted, and yeah, and I wasn't. I stayed a little more low under the ground. So
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. I tried. You know.
Have you tried to harass him to see if he's around and has any more genetics? That's what I'd be doing. I'd be hitting that guy up, being like, "Yo, if you're out of the game, I like genetics."
no,
Yeah.
I had all the same genetics that Federation had as well. So so when I left Federation, I brought all the genetics with me.
You have the whole lineup still intact?
Oh no, not in packs. No, but I have
Okay.
some
No.
some the original seeds in storage that are 25 years old. But but I have the offspring inbred lines of a lot of those varieties, like the Hawaiian sativa. I still have. It's not quite the same, but it's from the same seed line. So
Nice.
Yeah. I'd love to see. You know.
One of the
So what?
dankest sativas ever.
The what? The
yes,
Romulan?
No, the Hawaiian
the Hawaiian.
sativa.
Oh, the
It's
Hawaiian.
fire.
Okay. Well, I'd love to see, I'd love to see some menus of what you have going. So when it comes to, you said you crossed some stuff to some newer stuff. I'm just curious, like, what do you like? What have you used in the newer stuff? The hype stuff, newer stuff.
I've used some of the hype stuff. I've used the black truffles.
Okay.
I really like that, and I made a hybrid with the black truffles that we sell as red truffles. It's the Colombian red with the black truffles, and that has been amazing. We have great results with that.
McFunky's killed a run of that. Yo, McFunky's really did.
Oh
it.
yeah, he's
a
ran
solid,
most of my catalog.
he's
Oh,
a
there he is,
solid
right there.
dude. Shout out to McFunky's and a shout out to there he is.
Yeah.
I just said there he is.
Yeah,
I could see the comments sort of, man.
and
Trying to keep up on him.
also a shout out to Private Breeds. I'm really happy to have a Canadian collaboration going on with that guy. He does solid work. So you're watching Viva Canada. I've been fucking with
Sweet.
Great White North for decades now for a reason.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not up on all the new seed banks. For me, it seems like there's a new seed bank every week.
Yeah.
If somebody hasn't been around for more than 10 or 20 years,
Yeah.
you're a newbie.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely shit. I'm not new because I've been doing this a long time, but the seed bank's definitely new. Couple years now.
Yeah,
Probably like maybe 5 years going on now.
I stay in my lane and I encourage. I try to be positive, even if I see some shit that rubs me the wrong way. I'll still try. I'll build somebody before I'll ever knock them down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, I just try to,
Yeah.
I try to be very picky and choosy who I work with. I understand who I am, where I
Well,
come from,
it's a
and those are the
reflection of
people I want to work with.
Yeah, it's a
So
reflection of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's about 8:25. I do want to open it up. If you guys want to start to ask some questions, you guys could start to type your questions in now, and I'll start to put them up on the screen. So anything you've grown from Next Generation, something that you might be wanting to grow, a question on, anything. I feel like this is going to be your guys' opportunity to ask some questions right now. And like I said, we have about 35 minutes left. I'm going to try to keep these guys in when Shiloh comes in as well. I feel like it's always nice to have multiple people in here. And keep in mind, guys, I do want to let everybody know the new people that just might have joined us. Professor P will not be able to join us tonight. He was feeling under the weather today, but we will have Shiloh in here. So, let's go. Let me see. How's Herb doing? Is that a question you guys know? Or is that to somebody else?
Herb. I like herb. I just smoked some.
I think he's asking something. I think it's something different. Yeah. Oh, I just hit the wrong button. Oh, there it goes. Here we go. I posted that by accident. Sorry, guys. I just loaded up the chat with that. It's got this, just so you guys know, it's not intentional on me posting that. It's got this little button right there, and if I go to click on one thing, it comes up.
No judgment, man. I am far from technical expertise.
Yeah, dude, it's annoying. It is.
I'm getting better though. You kind of have to survive. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I'm getting there.
yeah, you have to keep up with it. I see Brandon in here right now. He be trying to tell me the same stuff you're telling me. And
Bro,
it's like,
listen, I'm gonna say it. Chat GPT Pro is a life changer, and it's bad. I'm addicted to it, but you have to have the common sense to know it makes mistakes and not use everything they give you as an absolute. You know, and you use your own good discretion. But it's a game changer for business strategy or trying to understand algorithm, how that works, things of that nature, and organizational tools, how to incorporate like an Excel program to make automated shipping labels. As soon as you get a tracking label through an email, it does all that. And,
yeah, that's one thing
Yeah.
that I do appreciate about my site. WordPress is good with the plugins, so it does have a lot of automated stuff right through the website. So that all takes care of itself. But there's a lot of promotion stuff, and
I know,
there's a
dude.
lot that I want to do. So,
We're stoners. We need help with automation.
Yeah,
oh,
well, that's why
totally.
I'm glad I have my partner up in Canada, and he deals with the shipping and the website, and I can just concentrate on my breeding.
Oh, so
And
you have a life and it's in Spain, dude. Holy shit.
what's
That must
that?
be nice to not have to handle the shipping and all that because
That is
Yes, yeah,
nice.
having
That's
to
very
deal with
nice.
people's emails and phone calls and shipping. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that.
but dude,
Yeah.
it's a double-edged sword because you have to do it. And me, if I get an email that day, I try to get to it. And at longest, it might take day two, but I try to be on top of that shit.
Yeah, I'm bad
Yeah.
with
But I
emails.
know long term, it's not sustainable.
Yeah,
Hence,
Yeah,
emails are
yeah.
my bane of my
automation.
existence, man. Emails. It is. I just don't. I'm not about typing. I'm just not. So,
Mhm.
okay. Do you guys remember the Rotten Fuel Pheno of
Oh,
Romulan? Wheezy asked.
yeah, some of them did kind of come off kind of rotten smelling. But I think that's maybe more. I don't know if he's referring to my Romulan. There was another breeder on Vancouver Island named Vic High. He had a line of Romulan as well. And his, I think, were a little more rotten or funky smelling than mine.
I think I've heard that
But
name. I think that might be the name that came up with the other Romulan, actually, too.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure
he,
that
he's
was
he
it.
passed about 10 years ago, but he was the other guy in Vancouver that had a good line. But it
Now,
was a hybrid as well. Mine was the pure cut at the time. So
Okay. Okay.
so now we're talking about pre 99 DJ Short genetics that went through Canada, and then a handful of breeders made the selections out of that, and that's what. So
The
you used the
blueberry.
real
Yeah.
deal blueberry before.
yeah, it would have been from 2000 or wait, sorry, 96, 96
Yep,
blueberry.
and no
And that.
knocking on DJ Short or anything, but a lot of the current stock I've ran had just a lot of mutants, and you had to grow out a huge
Yes.
amount to get any keepers. And it's no knock on anybody. That happens when you have such a large
Yeah.
gene pool and you're making selections. Sometimes even when you mean to make the best selections, all the recessive traits can all happen at once.
Well, I always noticed that too. Back in the 90s, the blueberry that was floating around was so much better than it is now. And like you say, when you grow out the blueberry now, I've grown it from Dutch Passion and from DJ Short. And
Dutch
complete
Passion did have a decent one originally that wasn't bad.
it grew very nice and it didn't have the mutations.
Yep.
But it didn't have the flavor. It didn't have the
Nope.
intensity of flavor. And a lot of the Dutch genetics, I'll find that not all the newer Dutch stuff, because they're select over here, everybody mixes with tobacco. So for them, flavor doesn't matter as much. They're looking for the high and easy to grow.
Yeah, that is a European thing. I
Yeah,
see
I
people
learned.
in
Yeah,
Canada too.
I
They're
learned the
mixing with
hard way
tobacco,
about the Dutch tobacco joints, not
right?
expecting
That's
it. When one was passed to me and I almost lost a lung, I found out the hard way about that.
Yeah.
so yeah, Brandon Jake, that's a different Romulan. So that's a whole nother story. Yep, that's his company is Romulan too, but yeah, whole nother person, whole different story from that's supposedly from his dad, and that's you'll have to go back and see our conversations with him, which I've had. So
Okay,
um,
you've had him on. Okay.
I have, yeah, I have. That's why I was, I'm always curious because I always had a lot of people asking about, Romulan Joe, Federation Seeds. Is it the same? Is it different? No, it's not. It's his dad. I don't want to speak for him. It's just totally,
Yeah, yeah, I
it,
don't know. It was a long time ago. A lot of
yeah,
people are secretive about who they get things from, so who am I to say? I was just a kid back then, so
yeah. All right. So McFunky's Garden says, Jay, talk about your seeds in the Doomsday Vault.
oh wow. Yeah, that's
That
back in
put you on
Canada. I have
blast,
several
Ferdinand.
totes full. Where do you start? I've been collecting forever, and yeah, I have such a waiting list of seeds I'd love to grow if I had a big enough facility and a market for them. A lot of old Indian varieties from different parts of India. I had a friend that collected there back in the 90s. So those seeds are 25 years old. It's got old Lebanese varieties and then just hybrids that I made way back in the day as well. Like Mark can say, like hundreds, probably thousands of little hybrids and little jars labeled and just to be put away. The germination rate by now will be going down on some of them, but
Right. Yeah. Well, they
it
have
is
like
what it is.
embryo rescue now. Shit. So
Yeah. No, I've kept them just in case when the science catches up to to it. I keep some of those strains. I have some old Thai varieties where the seeds are giant, like the size of a kernel of corn, and old Thais. But I know they're 30 years old. But there's only about 20 seeds of them in my collection, so I don't bother trying to germinate them. I'm going to give them somebody with a lab that can properly germinate them under the right conditions.
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. But I've been working with my Romulan or my old Hawaiian variety as well. Doing another big grow out, big pheno hunt on the Hawaiian. I just love that strain. It's a lot denser than it used to be now, but the flavor and the smell are completely different. When you smell it, it smells like a soap and kind of like a potpourri. But when you smoke it, it's completely different. It just fills your whole mouth with that flavor.
Now, how many week plant are we talking here?
The Hawaiian sativa is about 9.5 now.
Damn,
Okay.
that's fast.
Yeah, I brought it down over the years. I outcrossed it to my grapefruit at one point, and then did some new selections. But right now it's funny. Hawaiian sativa is one of those strains where the seeds are so small. A lot of people get pissed off when we sell them the seeds. So we always double it up because they're so small.
It's hard to tell which ones are viable.
Yeah, well, we always, when we get a complaint saying, what the hell is this? They're so tiny seeds. And we tell them, well, have you tried to germinate them yet? Try germinate them, grow, and then complain if they don't germinate. And there's no problems. They all grow good. But, people, when they see a small seed, they get a little skeptical and a little pissed off. So, but it is what it is. So some strains, the seeds are triple the size of others. So.
Yeah, I don't think it's never really mattered.
Now, do you
size too much?
You know the origin of where that Hawaiian originated? Just out of curiosity.
The original breeder of Vancouver Island Seed Company.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's out of business now for a few years, but he was the original OG in Vancouver Island. He had all the parent strains of the original God Bud came from him. Burmese, the old Burmese that used to float around, and he had strains called the fucking Incredible was great, Jiffy Pot, and he was the one that we got the Hawaiian from originally, and I believe he collected that from Hawaii himself in the 80s, and yeah, he was the source for that. He was a source for a lot of the genetics in Vancouver.
So I know you brought up like IBL lines earlier, or you've taken some stuff. So some of the older stuff that you've, taken out to IBL, what are some of those that you've worked with that you liked enough to do that with?
Well, the Romulan, of course, now, and the Island Sweet Skunk. My
Okay.
Dynamite line. Dynamite is the original grapefruit.
Okay.
I just changed the name years ago to Dynamite because breeder Steve didn't like me using the grapefruit name, so I changed it to Dynamite. And there's and my Avalon, of course. That's another one I've been in. It's been in IBL since I started doing the selecting outdoors.
What's the lineage of the Avalon again for people that might not know?
The Avalon was the original Afghani hash plant from the Bikers back in the mid 90s, crossed with the DJ Shorts Blueberry from 96. And I did the first cross outdoors. And then every year for about 6 or 7 years after that, I did all my selecting outdoors on Vancouver Island, where it rains hard. And so the first year or two growing outside with the Avalon, I'd lose about 70-80% to bud rot. And naturally, I selected the seeds from the plants that didn't rot. And so by about the third or fourth year, I was getting 90% of the plants with no rot. But it took a few years to
They
just
acclimated.
do all the selecting and Avalon has a big fat stalk always outdoors and fat buds, and that fat stalk, it can take the wind, and all the other plants are laying down on the ground after a rainstorm, and the Avalon will still be standing up strong. So that's my number one for outdoors, that and the time warp. So
Has the resistance passed on? Like with
yes.
with the hybrid? Okay.
Yes, I've hybridized Avalon with a few different varieties, and they tend to carry the mold resistance trait.
Okay.
Like McFunky Garden here said, he's grown a few of the Avalon Space and Avalon Chem Dog.
That's what I was just gonna ask. Okay, yeah. I think that's an important thing. I really do. I'm glad that I've had a few breeders on breeding for resistance. Certain strains they know will do well. I think it is very important. So especially for people that go outdoors and in these climates, I feel like that should be something that, you know, is up there with, it's an important thing. So,
Yeah,
um,
definitely.
oh, let me put that back up there. So they wanted to know, what are the terps and effects like on the Avalon?
The Avalon's pretty heavy stone. It hits pretty heavy. It's very fruity flavor and kind of cotton candy like, or like a cream soda. It reminds me of the smell of a cream soda pop. I don't know if you have that down in the States.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what it kind of reminds me of, the cream soda, fruity.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the more enjoyable ones to smoke.
Does it hash? Does it wash?
That's what I was
Wash
gonna
is
ask.
pretty nice. Yes. But I would say for my strains that wash nice, I'd say the best one's got to be the red truffles,
Okay.
and the Avalon as well, the red truffles, and those by far the best. I've never seen anything dumped like the red truffles,
Nice.
and the crystals just melt. They almost melt in your hand. So
Some fire.
And another one that we have that's good for washing is the Ogopogo, which is an OG Kush with the original grapefruit, and that washes nice as well.
That seems like it would have some good terps too.
Sounds
Yeah.
tasty.
Right, and rosin especially. Yeah,
Mhm.
some Kush with some grapefruit. Yeah.
It's nice to diversify when you're used to smoking the same things. When something else is really well-grown quality weed,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
broke
get
up for a
immune
second.
if you smoke the same strain all the time. You get immune to it.
Yeah, you do. You have to switch it up. You just do different terps. The whole, the entourage effect is real, especially with new strains, different strains. You do get a tolerance. That's real.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing I'm working on right now too is with my Spanish partner here that I've been working with the polyploids and the triploids. We're trying to bring back. I was also the breeder for Secret Valley seeds way back,
Okay.
and that was a side project. And we're trying to bring back a few of the old Secret Valley seeds strains. So
Okay. So the
Secret,
polyploids, though, are they not able to be uh, pollinated, or am I thinking something different?
no,
They're
correct.
sterile.
Yeah, they're
They're not,
sterile.
right? They're sterile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like
So
Mac One, they say.
they produce a lot more resin, and the stalks are fatter as well, like really fat stalks and fat buds, more resin. Still with the polyploids, you'll get maybe about 5% of the plants will be a little mutanty, a
Okay.
little wonky. But it's great. A lot of the ones that are made here in Spain are sold to the hash farmers in Morocco and
Okay.
in other parts in Turkey in different regions where because the neighbors when you're in Morocco, if your neighbor doesn't cut his males, you don't want your whole
You
crop
have.
seeded.
And that would be the idea for like large commercial places, maybe outdoors where you're near
Well,
other
also
or
yes, like
countries or
well in rural Canada in the West now, there's a lot of hemp farms everywhere. So all the old school growers that used to grow outdoors weed in like in Manitoba or Saskatchewan, when you grow outdoors now, it gets pollinated by the hemp field up the road.
okay.
So it's become impossible. So that, I'm thinking there might
That's
be some
rough,
interest.
man. That's rough.
Yeah,
I'd
Right.
be
it
so
is.
mad. I'd be mad if I lived there. Damn.
Right.
No, I did.
Yeah.
When I first moved back from Spain years ago, my first trip back to Canada, I went out to rural Manitoba and I planted maybe about a half acre of autoflowers. And then, August rolls around. I'm like, why the hell is there seeds and everything? And I found out there was a hemp field about 5 miles up the road. And I was downwind and everything was seeded. And so we just ended up having to make hash out of all the seeded crop. But
What are the other benefits you said? There's more terps. Like I did a little research on this because it was months ago now. I think Humble Seed Company came out with it, and there was a lot of talk, like the benefits, the negatives, all that. So that's one of the things what it was, right? Like more terps, more this. Like I just remember. Okay.
yeah, it's mostly more terps and the sterilization part is I think, the most desirable trait from it. So my partner deals more with that. He's got a lab in Valencia.
Okay.
So he more specializes in that. I've been giving him my mothers to work on after I select a nice mother, and he works on it and treats it, and we do some selections from there.
I mean,
Okay.
purists are opposed to it, but if you think
Right.
about it, it's going to be evolution. It is
Yeah.
evolution, and it's going to become commonplace. And then I think
Yeah,
once it becomes more, socially accepted, the
well, that's kind of how autoflowers were 15, 20 years ago. We all laughed at them when they came out, and then they've taken over a huge part of the market. So, yeah, the
They've come a
autoflowers.
long way. Yeah, they've
Yeah,
come a long way. People understand, what they are now, and there's a place in the toolbox for it,
Yep.
100%. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm curious to see what happens with the other as well as we get
Yeah, I think
more like
I think
accustomed
of the
to it.
first few rounds of triploids and polyploids that came out, there was a lot of problems and a lot of mutants, and more selecting needed to be done. But it's
Okay.
got refined now where there's very few. Well, there is about maybe about five, like I say, about 5% mutants come out. But if you're just a hash production in big fields, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so you do auto. I see somebody. I didn't know if you did. I didn't know you did auto. So I see
Oh yes.
McFunky say your auto is rock. So okay.
No, I've a few of my varieties, like my grapefruit haze, and a few of the other varieties I selected also outdoors, and they're very mold resistant. I've up in Canada, my grapefruit haze was autoflower was grown alongside a few other companies, uh, and mine was pretty much the only one that didn't rot. The
Okay.
Spanish companies like Sweet Seeds and Royal Queen, a lot of their varieties that are bred here in Spain. They don't, it's all indoor selections, and they don't select for mold.
Their cream caramel rotted on me. I grew that before.
I've had a lot of
Okay.
issues with the Royal Queen, yeah, with them, to be honest, that I've heard.
Cream caramel from Sweet Seeds.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Royal Queen as well. Like I've heard
Well,
about that.
companies like Sweet Seeds and Royal Queen, everybody knows they don't make, most of them don't make their own seeds. They
Yep.
buy them for a few pennies and package them like most companies over here. But yeah, I've got a few other. We've got about. Well, I have 4 varieties of auto flowers that are my own varieties, and then we've also made a few batches of others. We made the gelato and the cookies, and I made a Jack Herrera and a few batches just to, because there's interest in it. So I made them, but I'm not attached to them in any way, shape, or form. It was just a job doing those strains. But they're not one of my babies. But yeah, we do have about a dozen autoflowers that we have on the site, and yeah, they take up about a good 30-40% of the market now.
All right, so we have any tips for a newbie pollen chucker starting an auto project with photo pollen?
If you do that, that's how you come across what they call fast version now.
Yeah.
They'll cross it out and then back cross it again to the auto. So it's usually an F2 or an F3 back cross. So it's not fully auto, but it flowers faster or flowers with a little bit of stress.
And let me ask you a question real quick on the fast autos. Do you think they should even be a thing? Like I've had people on here that like Night Owl. You know, somebody that did a project with Night Owl, and he thinks that the fast auto should never be released because that's an in between. So I'm just curious your take on it.
It is an in between stage. Yeah, absolutely correct there. But some people want that, and in certain climates, it works really well.
Yeah.
So. I've seen good results and bad results from the fast version, and not much stability in that F2, F3 back cross generation. You'll get the short ones and the tall ones, and with the autoflowers, you got to do about at least a good 4 or 5 back crosses before you release it, before you get something resembling something stable. So,
the fast version. Yep. Yeah, it was Sin City who was on with me. And he was like, he had did the whole thing with Daz, the whole thing they did. And he was just, yeah, it's a whole conversation. You guys can go back and watch on the fast stuff. He wasn't happy about it. He, just feel like if you're going to do the project, you have to take it to what, F4 at least? I can't remember. So for it to be full. So,
yeah,
don't
that's the
release
bare
it in
minimum.
between.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bare
Yeah.
minimum
That
is
was
4.
pretty much. All right, what do we have? You can use tweet. I'm trying to just bear with me. It's really hard for me to see your guys' comments on the phone. Like I said, usually I'm on the laptop. I can just put it up on the screen. It makes it a lot easier for me. Let's see. So what else did you?
I was actually curious about some of Mark's. You have the old Northern Lights 5. I noticed
it's actually NL2 by NL5, and those genetics were acquired from Dwight or D Hash from the Mr. Nice forum, and he had a relationship with Neville. And before Neville passed, he had given them to Dwight, and then Dwight had given them to another dude, Hunter, and then Hunter gave them to me. So it's a clean chain of custody from that.
Okay.
And I've taken them to F4, and there's some nasty plants in there, man.
Yeah, that's something I remember the Northern Lights 5 back in Vancouver back in the day, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And there was a breeder in Vancouver named Dr. Atomic. He had a really nice one.
His NL1 was amazing, of course. Dr. Atomic. He's one of the banks I use too.
Yeah, some of his genetics were amazing. They tended to Hermy at the end of flower. They spit out a little Hermy flower. Yeah. And he had the super silver haze, and he had a good tie cross. They always Hermied at the end, but it was worth it because the quality of the smoke, and it was right at the very last week of flower, so you could get away with it. But they were always nice to smoke, and his Northern Lights 5, I remember, was one of my favorites.
It's a good building block, and a lot of my new outcrosses were using the NL2 by 5 stud, and I kind of like taking the old lines to the hype things because in my mind, the way I think it validates them somewhat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well, that's
you
right.
know,
I do a similar thing with a lot of my grapefruit because grapefruit's been around forever, and I have grapefruit crossed with everything.
yeah, they're
You
building
just got
blocks.
yeah,
they're
yeah. It's a great base. Whatever you cross it with, it tends to it lends a lot of the flavor and the fast flowering. But when you use the male instead of the female, it always takes the traits of the female. The F1 generation of the offspring will take more of the growth traits of the female you cross it with, and they'll take the potency from the males. I've noticed on most strains.
that's a great trait because that tells me the males don't dominate the outcrossing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. It brings down the flowering time because grapefruit's it's about 7.5, 8 weeks. So
Nice. There you
Sorry, I'm
go.
just trying to read the comments. Yeah, shout out to Next Generation Seed Company. Found my special Romulan phenos a few years back. Nothing like Romulan genetics. More similar to the Romulan from back in the day, from Michael. So
yeah, well, different breeders select for different traits, and over the years, things branch off. So that's bound to happen.
I don't want to get into too much of the auto stuff. We only have a few minutes left. But will you get more fast flower using photo male pollen on an auto versus auto male on a photo, or will it still be roughly 25 photo, 25 auto, 50% fast?
I'll be right back.
I
What's
would
up on the
use
screen?
I would, if I was going to go along that route on a breeding project like that, I believe I would use the male pollen from a photo. And what I would probably do is grow out a bunch of autos and just pollinate the best ones and go from there. Because to select a male, first of all, there isn't a lot of companies that sell auto flowers in regular. And it's harder. Selecting a male is a harder skill to learn than selecting a female. Everybody can smell a nice bud and know which ones they like. But there's more of a talent picking a male, and a lot of that just goes down to just trial and error and experience. So I'd use the regular pollen on the autoflower if I was to start a project like that.
There you go. Let me see what else do we have. So, guys, I just want to let you guys know we only have about 5 more minutes left. You guys have any other questions you guys want to ask? I would get them in now. I'm gonna, like I said again, I know Jay. He's over in Spain. He's gonna jump off probably in about 5 minutes. It's late. Time
Yeah.
difference is crazy. I appreciate you for coming on. I didn't realize the time difference. Now, Marcus, I'm gonna try to get Marcus to hang out as long as he wants to. So, but ask you
We're
guys
gonna hang out for a
questions
little
right
bit.
now. Okay, do you have any of that old purple Kush available from BC, available in seed? I went through a lot of that on the East Coast.
No, it's one strain I never really worked with very much. It came through my stable and then left. I just other things to work with. I had a really good purple pineberry, which I'm still working with hybrids of it. Pretty similar to the purple indica. Not quite as long bud, but more golf ball size buds. Very, very dense. Great for outdoors. Very purple. So I have a few hybrids of that. Like I've hybrided that purple Romulan with the Romulan. So purple Romulan, and it's been going great outdoors for the last few years. Actually, upstate New York, I think McFunky might have tried purple Romulan and a few other growers I know out east, and it just did great out in Quebec. And so, yeah,
So
but the purple
I
indica
do.
itself, I've never tried for years.
You have a website that they can go look at, right? You guys
Oh
have a
yes,
website. Okay,
yep.
let them know what it is. I mean, I obviously am going to try to talk to you after this at some point and see if we can, whatever. But for now,
I'm always
let them
happy
know.
to do that again sometime if there's any more questions or anybody else wants to chat. But yeah, the website is just nextgenerationseedcompany.com. So
Okay, greetings from Argentina. Guys, could you tell me what NL5 smelled like and what it tasted like? Is it similar aroma to the NL5 to haze or NL5 haze?
No, it's more indica dominant plant, and it can have slight berry overtones to it with pine. And I would say that's the main trait, kind of like spray paint on the back end.
Yeah. Yeah, and the ones I remember have, yeah, pretty earthy. You're pretty similar to the description that of what I
But
experienced with
it
it.
wasn't a fruity strain, but it had the berry in the back note of it, kind of like a juniper kind of thing. Piney,
Yep.
myrcene heavy.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh wow, this guy's been going Federation Hawaiian with the cotton candy. Wow, that's an
Cotton candy was so dank, man. That was one of my favorites from Federation.
yeah. Well, it was cotton candy. Might bring some of that back as well. It was the original. It was Sweet Tooth F2 from Spice of Life, crossed with the blueberry from DJ Short, and then we did a started an inbred line from that. So yeah, that's one of the
So
strains I still have tucked away.
okay, could it be remade? Hopefully.
That's my
That
love
was
language, man. Fire that up.
Yeah, well, there's so many strains. Like when I'm in Spain right now, but when I go back to Canada in spring, I got to dig through the collection, and that's something that I like to do. A lot of the stuff that I know that I'm never going to get to. If there's a few growers out there that will take these strains on as babies and can appreciate them, there's a lot of strains I'd like to pass out to people just to see them grown and not just sit in storage. So
That's awesome.
real quick, the blueberry Romulan or blueberry punch did really good in cold temperatures? Question: which one? Blueberry Romulan or blueberry punch?
actually, I wouldn't recommend either. Actually, and we're all sold out of those right now anyway. So we don't have any in stock, and it's not a strain. The Romulan was never the greatest outdoors. It's just how it was. Some people had good luck with different phenotypes. They did a search, but to my experience, it was not a strain I'd recommend for outdoors.
Is it possible to get the old blueberry taste nowadays? I mean, I've seen it. I've seen some of the blueberry, not like the old days, but blueberry-ish. I mean, I have. So, Lovin's got some. I mean, some of her blueberry strains are blueberry or
Yeah.
strawberry. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah, the original grapefruit, which is now I call my dynamite, it has a little bit of that original berry funk to it. And I know there's a breeder
like,
a small breeder up in Canada who called Scallywag Seeds. He's a smaller breeder in Canada, but he's collected a lot of those old school strains. He's got the original Purple Skunk and the old Mikado, some of the old lines from the Federation, and I believe he's got some old nice cuts of blueberry.
Paul's a good dude.
Oh, you know Paul? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I've heard nothing but good things from him. We've never met in person, but we've chatted online, and he grows. Actually, he gave me back the old an F2 line of my original Jamaican grape from the Secret Valley Seeds. About 4 or 5 years ago, Paul got a hold of me and said he told me he redid it, and he sent me about 1,000 seeds of F2s. So we're actually growing some of those here in Spain. I'm growing some of those out, doing a bit of a hunt.
Nice.
So yeah, Paul saved a lot of old stuff. He's got
nice guy.
A nice little library.
Got some good genetics too. I enjoy his postings.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'd like to try your Northern Lights sometime. Maybe we'll do a little swap.
We can definitely talk, man. It was a pleasure having you on. Thank you for putting it together. I know.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say, man.
Well
I appreciate you coming on
in Spain.
Yeah, I know we're at our time right now, so hopefully we can talk sometime in the future. See if we can get some of your genetics on the site, and
Yep.
Until then, I appreciate you for jumping on, and have a good night,
guys.
brother.
Happy holidays.
Thanks a lot for having me on. Good talking to you.
You got it. Happy holidays.
Nice meeting you, man.
Cheers. Merry Christmas.
We're going. Yep.
Merry Christmas. All right. Let me. I just got a message from Shiloh. He's seeing a black screen. Let me see if I can go out of here and come back in. Let me see if I can send him a message.
I'm gonna
If
get a
anything,
drink. I'm gonna get a
it,
drink real quick. I'll be right back. I'm getting a
all right,
drink.
it could possibly kick me out, guys. But it's not going to kick the live, you know. So don't go anywhere. For any reason, my screen goes blank. It just means I'm sending Shiloh an updated invite. So give me 1 sec. I'll show you guys. You know, we chilling down here. Let me see if I can do this without like a. See. All right. All right. Give me 1 sec, y'all. Too. I'm gonna mute myself for 1 second. We should have Shiloh coming up in a second, and I'll be back in here. Can I do this actually? Wait. Oh, I can't do it. Can I? Wait. Yeah, you hear the crickets? I'm gonna mute it for 1 second. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Come here. Come here, girl. Come here.
I mean, some palm trees have Christmas lights.
That's cool.
I see it in the comments. That one sort of does.
It's kind of hard to emulate, Christmas in the tropics a little bit.
Oh, I mean, it is what it is. Let me see. Wait, can I switch it to the camera? Oh, yeah. There you go.
There we go. Cool.
Christmas trees. Oh, they don't have the lights. Oh, they do have the lights on.
Now, what's the temperature like down there now?
Oh, it's. Oh, yeah. There you go. It's like 72, probably.
Damn.
I don't know. I know it's backwards, man. I'm trying. Sorry, hold on. I'm gonna turn it back on to me. It's totally backwards, so
There you are.
yeah. I mean, it's reversed. It's like if I turn this way, I'm going that way when I try to do that. Oh, wait, there's some back here. Wait, real quick. Here, wait. There you go. See those? The green ones?
It's beautiful down there.
They're back there. Oh, shit. But, here, let
Is
me
that
see. I said,
Miami? Is that Miami?
I'm like 20 minutes from Miami. I'm for like, can you see the city lights? Not really
Yeah.
tonight. Back there is Fort Lauderdale's like right that way. So pretty much a suburb of Fort Lauderdale. If you know where like Boca, Deerfield is, pretty
I
much
do.
there. Oh, that's
Cool.
where I'm at. Okay, that's where I am. Yeah. So, all right, I'm just trying to see. Oh, there's Shiloh. Oh, let's go. All right, I see Shiloh in here right now. Let me pull him up on stage. There
What's up?
he
What's
is.
up?
Hey, man.
What
Happy
up?
holidays.
How's it going? I was
Happy
saying
holidays.
those were a different kind of Christmas tree than I'm used to out here.
I'm
Yeah.
sure, right? Yeah. Well, you were down here. You were just down here not too long ago.
Yeah, I love Florida, and I just seen my Florida peeps in Vegas. So keep that vibe going. I like it a lot.
Right? I love it, man. I really do. I moved here after I graduated high school, lived down here a very long time. So it's nice to be back. I'll be down here permanently real soon. It's nice. At my girls right now. She's chilling over there, watching. But yeah. So happy holidays.
Yep.
And let's continue like where we got cut off 2 weeks ago, I think it was now, which was just, you know, shitty. But we're back. So we could re-go over some of the stuff that we dropped. And just what do you got going on besides, man? Like, what do you got going
Okay,
on?
I just got back from Vegas to witness, the further collapse of the industry. But there was a lot of good people, smiling faces.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a total complete waste of time. Saturday we're having Ganja Fight Club, and that's going to be a little showdown of 10 hash makers, 10 flower makers, some big names there, and up here in Northern California.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. Seeds, yeah, got a bunch of seeds. I mean, I don't really know where to start. There's just lists and lists and lists. You should check the website, but maybe go to Jeepers. Oh, here it is. Maybe some of the newest drops, which are super gas heavy, with the exception of Total Devastation, which is the destroyer, the Thai Mexican Colombian, which dirty SOGs rocking. Someone asked that last time, and it was his cut, and that's crossed with the F6 A18 headband, which, as you know, is sour SFV. So that's just the West Coast new haze. You see a lot of people that are like, let me get a sativa. I want a sativa, and there's nothing really. There's just stuff marketed to them, but this is really in that genre. Total Devastation. I think in Florida you would probably run the streets in the trap with those terms for sure. I saw White Boy Kev and those guys, and of course we smoked some haze. So
Yeah.
it's really similar, but it's got that added gas that we love so much on the West Coast
And the East Coast. We
Yeah,
love
yeah,
the gas.
East Coast for sure.
Yeah.
How
we
many
love the
how many
gas.
weeks of flowering time is that?
I would say probably 9 to 10. It's not a really long flower, so share stuff.
I mean, have you guys met? I don't know if I've had you guys on,
I
together.
think
at any
I've
point.
seen the name before.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
pleasure to
Golden
meet
Road,
you.
Seco, Marcus, yeah,
Nice.
Shiloh.
Where are you at,
SPD,
Marcus?
so-
What's that?
Where are you at?
I am in Oklahoma, but I'm
cool.
from PA. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was out there in Oklahoma. I think we were talking for a minute back there in that little Oklahoma
Yep.
gold rush. Boom.
It's been wild here. I made it 5 years, but I've had enough, and I'm looking forward to get back to connectivity and real food. Not a food desert, and
Yeah.
not the place where dogs come to die. But it has its charm, and I learned a lot here. But yeah, I'm done. 5 years is plenty.
Yeah. Where are you coming back to the West Coast or?
I'm moving back to PA, my home
PA.
state. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. We met each other not knowing we literally grew up within 15 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
So,
Damn, that's crazy.
right? Sort of a trip, man.
Instantly homies after that.
Of course, man. Yeah, I my brother started. I think you and my brother started talking first, which is just funny. But anyway, yeah. So,
and then, going back to seeds, that 97 super sour. I mean, I just got some more messages on that today, just how gassy the males on their own are. And another guy, he's out there, I want to say Massachusetts, but somewhere out there, he said it's the most vigorous plant in his garden.
oh, we got somebody right here. Yep, running the 97 super sour. And
yeah, Dan Richard got it too. And man, that one is just like, I'm going to say just because that sour's been around since 97, there wasn't a lot going on in it. So it was on its own, wherever it came from, a bag, whatever. It had some more stability built into it. So hitting it with the F4 818 headband, that male was inbred enough too that almost all I didn't see really much variation in the ones that I just grew. So I'd be interested in hearing from other people. The biggest bud in the garden for sure. Super impressed. And I went to that side for the male for a lot of the new projects, but just giant colas.
So what's coming up? I know we pretty much touched on everything that's on the site.
What's coming up? I got my kid in the Ganja University, so he moved back home. So he's kind of my sidekick. And we got some things going on. Just see, taking these further worked lines like in the F6, F7, and just making the FEM seeds out of that. So
Okay. So FEM seeds coming.
a lot of FEM seeds coming for sure, because just the market, it's just like you can sell a garbage bag of those a fucking day, if you know. But I also got the OG project I'm working on with my boy Nick T. Shout out Nick T. We got a little project in that realm, and then some of that old Neville gear, just a couple crosses of that. But yeah, I'm just gonna concentrate on really like making these bangers available in FEM.
Okay. Do we have a time frame when they're going to be coming?
Or it should be probably in the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
Because here's my philosophy or my hypothesis is that everyone's making FEMs out of poly hybrid generation 1, multi hybrid generation 1. So as we can see in the breeding through some of these strains, the stability involved in the progeny, that's going to cross over to the FEM. So you want to buy 100,000 FEM seeds, and there's 3-4 variations instead of like 16. You know what I mean? So part of it's just like to test myself and test this theory and see how that comes out, because I don't see a lot of people even working lines and their work that they do. So that's kind of like what I want to do. If the male is an F4 or better, I don't really. I think that's just seed making, and for the female too, it should be too. So that's what I'd like to see, is a lot of people work more lines to have a stronger base, and I think a lot of that's getting lost. And I'm not saying that that's wrong or everyone else's approach is lame or whatever, but it's just a lot of pollen chucking and a lot of like bottleneck. Yeah. And you just gotta get what you like and work it. Like you take dude seeds, you take dude A seeds and dude's B seeds, and then you in one generation make a cross in your backyard. You didn't breed shit. You made some seeds. Now do that 3 more times, and then you got some shit, and do that with the other one.
Works.
That's 90% of the people doing it.
Yeah, back in the day, bro, because we're probably all about the same age. Like you'd get laughed out of the scene if you tried to drop F1s, and then it just, at some point and really they're not even true F1s, but we could get into that later. They're PH1s or MH1s, multi-hybrid, polyhybrid, because a true filial generation is a hybrid created by 2 inbred lines, or inbred line and a landrace. A real hybrid, that's a real hybrid. That's why we don't see a lot of vigor. We see a lot of like just the people painting pictures from pictures. And so yeah, really like what's really going on, just working the lines and like such a small space. I'd like to be able to do more, but you can only do so much at one time.
Yeah, and the space and all that. So
yeah, and I was talking to TK. There might be a massive TK collab coming up. Speaking of Florida, so
I would love that. Shit, I seen the pictures. I seen you guys out there, man. I seen I know I met you through Leo. I know he was out there, I believe. I think I saw
Leo. Pictures. I did see. I saw my dog.
All the homies out there. Those are guys I hang out with when I go to New York. So it's cool.
We had a good conversation, and he's down in Colombia. We're down in Colombia. That's another thing. We're going to Colombia in January. Just motion, bro. Big motion, baby. Big motion. It's like
Yeah.
can't sit still. Just like the firefly, you got to keep moving to stay bright.
Through that.
Let's go. Oh yeah, I seen pictures with Chad too. I seen pictures with you out there too. What's up? Finally get to meet Leo. Yep. Leo's fucking the homie for sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got Leo repping the lights too now. So he's working with the established technology photon delivery systems, and that's exciting because it's a kind of a small company. So we really got to do grassroots outreach, and then just to have some of these big names jumping in and saying the lights are outperforming the competition side by side. It's satisfying for sure. So I'm really blessed, you know. I sell LEDs and LED accessories, you know what I mean? But just to be able to travel around and see how people are growing in different countries and
No doubt.
spread the
Yeah.
seed, spread the legacy around.
Oh yeah. Well, I do want to let you guys know we're on here tonight to be able to ask and answer questions. So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free. We have Marcus up here and Shiloh tonight. Professor P was under the weather,
Damn.
so you know he sent me a message. I didn't even see it. He sent it to me at like 11 o'clock this morning. I have no idea how I didn't see it, so I sent you the message. But you know, I figured we continue anyway because I was already gonna be here. So, um, but yeah, we'll see if we can get him next week, guys. Either way, but
Yeah, did some running around in the season with Cowboy John and did a bunch of feminized seeds there for a separate project. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Want to do something with my dog Professor P one day, but
yeah, I'd love to see you guys do something together. I feel like he's another one of those guys that just has put in so much work and worked his lines for so long that you know these are the genetics that I want on my site. It's bad
yeah,
Marcus too. This guy that's on here now, you know, he's done a lot of work with some old genetics. Be cool to see. You know, I love having guys come on here that never met or maybe you guys do know each other in some point or another, but some of the genetics, you know, he holds as well, old school. Love
epic.
to see some of this stuff come together. So
Yeah, it's cool how just different places had just different pockets of stuff that they kept. You know, like I was Northwest. Grew up in the Northwest too, so a lot of that Professor P stuff holds a place in my heart. And what's some PA legendary strains out there?
There was an Afghani that came down from Vermont that was a staple forever, and because it was a non-legal state, it was difficult to hold moms at times and move
Yeah.
things around. So that kind of sparked my interest to get over to Holland. So in '99, I went over there, and that's when I met Adam Dunn over there, and I sampled my favorite sativa, which was his Sage.
Yeah,
I met Neville over there at
nice.
a little off the beaten path coffee shop near Dam Square. I go in there, and the owner's American, and we started talking. And he's from Humboldt, and we brought up the topic of Neville, and he said Neville is going to be here in a half an hour if you want to hang out. And my jaw dropped. And he came in there and business attire, leather attache, broke out a big piece of hash for the shop owner. And we got into the topic of seeds. And he had a bud, Super Silver Haze, in that bag, and he shucked the seeds right there for me. Bought 40 or so, brought them back. The whole Sensi catalog, I pretty much got and preserved
From that era.
a small portion of it, because what happened was we never knew that the Dutch seed banks and seed shops would get raided, and we didn't know, we weren't aware of that. So when more seeds weren't made, I went back the following year, 2001,
Yeah.
and bought all the Sensi seed stock and brought them back, and it was boof pretty much. But what I did keep intact was Shiva Shanti, which I worked to F4 line.
Nice.
Early Skunk. Adam gave me, when I went there, I bought a lot of his lineup, and he gave me the Pollyanna, which was a Robert Cannell Clark strain, which I believe is the parent of Early Pearl and Silver Pearl. I managed to hold on to that, and a good portion of Homegrown Fantasies catalog, which I have their cheese,
Nice.
which was great. I know that they got the bright side cut, which was the best cheese cut to make that whatever they used. I think they used an Afghani for that to make their seed line. A lot of Flying Dutchman stock. I have original Pot of Gold, which I've worked to F4.
You know, I was actually there, living there about the exact same time you were there.
Oh man, what a great! I can't even put it.
And that was like the golden era. Like, well, you know, earlier it was even better, but it was like Amsterdam's a lot different now than it was at that time. And I also like my homie Steve Hayes took me up to Neville's breeding facility, but he was breeding koi fish up there, not weed, and super interesting. Spent like a few hours up there.
Right. A lot of people don't know that all the animal husbandry that he did.
Yeah, I was breeding dogs. He was like, he wanted to prove to the sultans of Brunei that he could breed a better racehorse than they could with a huge financial handicap comparatively to them. So, yeah, interesting, dude. That's pretty cool. Look at that. You guys were like in the same place and time and didn't know it. And me and Marcus as well were in the same places in
Absolutely.
time.
Well, you guys had the benefit of being in a legal state before I got to, and unfortunately, I caught a few big felonies. I had some multiple fields in PA get raided, and this is after decades of rocking out. Like I started a festival, did good with the festival.
Oh shit! There you went. That's how they got you.
Dude, so like, everything went fucking great until they did away with the local police force and they got state police. And with
isn't this a legendary story that they wrote about in magazines? This festival.
Yeah, it was known. So anyway, 2005 comes and they did away with the local cops, and I had a bad feeling. And with the new Stadies came helicopters with FLIR technology, and nobody knew it. And we had all been rocking out there for decades. And that one year, I remember it. There was like doing grids,
thermal censoring. Yeah, that's
you come up the hill and you see grids. But I never stopped, man. I'm defiant. I caught a charge in 2005, and I just kept going. I felt it was my right to do it. And finally, they got me again in 2012, and that's when I sold the family farm and ran from PA. I moved to Oklahoma. I did.
Well, they get out of jail and they set the grow room up again. You know what are you gonna do, man?
So yeah, it traumatized me. I look at it as domestic terrorism.
Bro. I've had assault rifles held to my head by DE agents. It's just traumatizing as fuck, bro. And also on that level that you put so much love and energy into this thing that they took away from you. That was a piece of your heart and soul.
Yeah. But I don't feel like a victim, because I know at the end of the day that even though I don't agree with it, it was illegal. So I never had like the victim mentality. I just I had more of a fuck you anti-authority attitude more than anything.
I lived down in Florida. I moved to Florida in '90 down here in Broward. So it was the times, the cops, and the show, and it was just so crazy down here, and the FLIR and the helicopters and all that, man. And we would have houses north of here, so more Palm Beach County. And yeah, dude, having that shit happen back then, but actually getting away, but running from the house, like with handcuffs, through the window, and making it back here, dude. I never looked back at that shit, but we would just move. The houses were in nobody's name in particular, and it was just crazy times, man. PA, I had moved out of there, so yeah, it's crazy. But
someone was asking what the Dolly Lambo is.
I was about to pin that back up there.
Kosher F4 818 headband.
Yeah, let me put that back up there. And those you guys are welcome to go to the site, man. Those are up there. So
They're out there. They're actually a great deal on
a
the
great deal.
like
Yeah.
Leo was like, "Why are you selling those so cheap?" I was like, "Bro, sometimes you just got to be for the people." You know what I
I'm
mean?
still back at the Dirty Sog destroyer crossed with that headband. I'm thinking about that on paper. That
The
sounds
Destroyer.
clean.
On
Bro.
here.
And then I got it going with the back cross of the 97 Super Sour too. But yeah, it's just such a beautiful plant on its own. And yeah.
Does
Where
the
can I
gas
find the lights?
dominate?
You could go to
The
Instagram.
haze part?
What's that?
Does the gas dominate the haze terps? Is it more of a gas forward?
No,
Eric.
man, you can't. There's chocolate, citrus,
Hello.
terpenoline, and you can never outgas that. It's like
Right.
you ever see those types that place in the ocean where the dirty water and the clean water and they can't push each other. It's like right there on that line.
Nice.
The
Good
lights,
Yeah, well,
analogy.
you could
I
go
want-
to Aztec LED or just hit me up on my Instagram.
Yeah, it was never the cannabis, Frankie. It was always the lights. So it was the heat coming out of the house
Yeah, it was
that had fucking HPS or metal halide.
yeah, or
It,
some shit,
it was
some
never
shit
the,
you
you
stole
know.
from the construction site.
Yeah, that's what it was. So yeah. Let's see what else. Very familiar story. Yeah, heat from the lights, right? Yep, exactly. Um, yeah. All right. Cool. I was just trying to get caught up on this.
But yeah, in the pines, there's not a lot of those left, and it's really, I'm not gonna really like go out and make a bunch of more of those. I just it was my wife's favorite strain, and I made the seeds so she would have them, for a long time. And there's just some excess, but that's pretty much breeders ready, full of osamine. And I know 3 people that grew it, and we pulled the buds out, and they were almost identical. So the smell was no different. It's just which is a pineapple Thai master kush. With the pine. Oh yeah, that's a inbred line of that F4, the pineapple Thai master kush.
And what has washed well out of the stuff that we dropped? Is there anything specific that washed well?
I mean, I'm getting some new hash equipment, but like everything was super sticky.
Okay.
There's nothing that I don't think that wouldn't wash. It's to be proven, but I made enough hash in my time that I could identify them as hash makers.
I mean, hey, it's a question that gets asked a lot. I think we probably talked about this before. I love my flower. I'm a flower guy. The rosins, it's cool, but I'll always be a flower guy, to be honest. So
Yeah, I'm actually smoking hash right now, but we always talk about it. 3 old guys talking about the era of weed when it was so much better, but it really was, dog.
it was.
Really was electric. It's like, so I
Yeah.
tried to recreate that like the Crippy. After KGB, there was the Crippler, and then I was talking to the Florida dudes about the Crippy, and
The Crippy.
it's just the conclusion that if it was green and fluffy, it was Crippy, and that
It was
shit was
Crippy.
everywhere. And it was probably coming in through the black tuna gangs. That was probably coming in on the boats because it was going to Florida, it was going to Alaska, into Washington. If you look at the movie, that's where the boats were going, and it was just like,
And you did have the Cubans with the haze that was here. Jamaica is not that far. Like you did have all
the
this
haze
stuff
came
coming
from
in.
Amsterdam. Like the haze came from Neville. Those dudes, these surfers from Jupiter, Florida, their uncle took them to Amsterdam. They got the Neville's haze. That's a Cuban black haze. But
Yeah,
people called weed haze that wasn't haze in that era. This is what I've deduced from talking to multiple characters down there, is that there was hazy weed before there was haze.
Yeah, there was. Well, we would get what they called in that time period super silver haze. So but it
Oh.
didn't look like it's not the typical like stereotypical what you think was haze. It looked like more like for back then, rock solid, crazy nugs. Like it was just a beautiful looking
Yeah.
haze as we called it. But yeah, whether it came from where it came from, I just know the Cubans were the ones who
Yeah.
got the
Shout
method
out
of
to
growing it down, and those are the ones on large scale was those who were growing it. So
the
I guess that's where.
alleged perpetrators. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And guess what? They're still doing it.
Yeah, and that's I lived down here, and I moved here when I was like 18, around 1990, and it was all that's who I was able to get it from. Was always I just got lucky back then, but we would
Those
have
guys
like
but those guys put way too much sugar in their coffee. That shit's crazy in Florida, bro.
they make it. It's not even. It's cute. Yeah, Cuban coffee is a whole nother level, dude. It comes in a little. They pour these little cups of it. It's like motor oil.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
literally.
But and then they'll give you like a pure sugar lollipop
Oh,
afterwards.
they'll do the sugar. Yeah, they'll do the
It's
sugar. Yeah. Yep. It's a trip, man. Um, Hayes is pretty much identified genetically to land races such as Panama.
Yeah, I was gonna
Hayes
say
is
it.
pretty
I
much
was
identical
actually
genetically
out of
to.
my mouth was gonna come Panama. It's just like these are the words that those guys told me. So it's just like we got to keep a sort of oral history about these things that can't get lost. And
And as you said, I say this all the time because uh, the Crippy was dank. People had different names in different parts. Like we would call Kind Bud. I followed the Grateful Dead. Like it was Kind Bud. It was at first it was dank,
yeah.
then it was Kind Bud. But here in Florida, when I moved here, what we would call Kind Bud eventually just became Crippy. That's just what it was. It wasn't a specific thing. It was dank. It was.
Crippler, that is for sure. It was like KGB, then the Crippler, and then when Snoop Dogg, after he dropped that on the whole West Coast, it was the Chronic.
The Chronic, yeah.
That's when I feel like people, my group stopped calling it the Crippler.
And to add to the confusion, Serious Seeds had the Chronic, which was not the Chronic Snoop Dogg was referring to.
Right.
Was
No, Chronic was just a grade. Like we're saying, of all the great strains, just like Piff, all these things are just a great, and that's cool. I kind of like that shit. Did it fit the category? Is it Piff? Is it Crippy? You know what I mean? Is it Chronic? Because bro, that shit they call the Chronic, you don't see that shit anymore, bro. That's the weed I love.
Yeah, that's the weed we love. Exactly. Yeah. It is crazy how much different it was back then to the way it is now. It just is. I said this before, like
We
bag
used
and
to
feel
get-
sort of mattered in a way back then. I think. Like if
We
you
used to
saw a
get
bag back in the
fucking-
'90s that looked fucking dank, it was dank. Like it translated.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't
Yeah,
always.
there's no dank anymore. That word's been wiped from the
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Florida used to hold kids I would do fish tour with, and they had juicy fruit, and they had weight of that. They had to cut it. Did you ever run across that when you were down there?
I mean,
And,
I have. I know
what they would-
somebody that actually grows out juicy fruit right now, and it actually is. It's it's close, and the rosin even comes through, and that's somebody out of Michigan.
And
So-
grape skunk was another cutting.
Juicy fruit was fire. Like before the Asians took over the West Coast BC and turned just family weed into beasters. There was a lot of triple plus juicy fruit coming through for sure from like Nanaimo, the city with no pity, and up there. But yeah, that was definitely a great one.
Yeah, that was a banger. And now they changed the name. They still have it on the seed bank, but they call it Fruity Juice for whatever reason.
Probably got a cease and desist from the Wrigley's.
Right, that's probably exactly what it is.
Sue
That's
Happy.
like, yeah, my boy that did the Oreos. Whatever you think of the strain is irrelevant, but they made him. They did that cease and desist. Can't call it Oreos anymore, and had to change it to Ooze. OOZE is what It's just,
Gorilla Glue was the first, right? But everyone still
Yeah.
calls it Gorilla Glue.
everyone.
And, you know what I mean? Some people GG4, but fools be calling that Gorilla Glue to this day.
Yep. Now, yep. Smoking some cold water. Oh man, Hamio. I mean, I remember scoring some
I'm
surface in the
smoking the
parking lot.
97 Super Sour right now. Everyone that touches it's like, man, that's so sour.
I mean, that's what people are looking for. That's why when some of you guys coming back, Uncle Drew, some of you guys coming out with the sour, like it's really nice because I feel like it's made such a comeback. And any of you guys that have not gone and gotten these yet, the 97 Super Sour, some of this other stuff that we put on the site from Shiloh, they're on my site, Cat Piss. So you can go to my site and see all the stuff that's on the site.
Shit'll make you grow dreadlocks and go down to the drum circle type of weed.
This is what we're talking about. This is
My
why
kind
we
of
put it
party.
all on there. And like the nicest thing is like the Black Friday special deal thing, because it was right around that stuff's on there, man. Go check out what's on the site. The new drop, you'll see the difference, but the 97 Super Sour, the In the Pines F4, there's all that stuff is on the site. So it's under Massive Creations. So I can't it is under Massive Creations. So that's where you can find his gear. Massive Creations on my website, guys. And what up, in-house? What up, brother?
What up?
So we got about 20 minutes left here, guys. I feel like I'd love you guys to ask some questions. Ask some questions. Ask some questions. I mean, we can keep talking, but I feel like if you guys go look on the site, or you guys have any questions about stuff Shiloh's done, or what's on the site in particular, now's your time to ask.
Oh.
The only names were Panama Red, Colombian, Hawaiian, Mexican, Acapulco Gold. Late 70s, we had no names. It didn't matter. Nobody cared. We looked at the bag and we knew if it was dank. We just did.
Yeah.
Because it was different back then. You didn't have, back then we would get Mexican brick. We would get we would get fucking swag, like brown weed. That's not really a thing now, but it is in a way because there's so much mids now that it's like
It's the
sort of
same
crazy.
thing. Bro, the Cali weed,
It
the
is.
legal weed scene is beasters. All the way they created their own Cali beasters. It's like that, bro. It's so fun. I don't even know. I'd rather
Cartel
smoke
weed.
backyard weed or organically grown. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just like if that was the shit that they gave me as a kid, said this is weed, and I smoked it, I'd probably be unimpressed and just be like, what the fuck is this, dude? I'm gonna smoke a
Right.
Marlboro Red instead of that shit. But John Trudell told me one time when I was hanging out with John Trudell and my buddy Jason, he told me how they took tobacco was light leaf and it was a medicine that we lived in a medicine time and everyone had their medicine, and for some people it was tobacco and it had a power and it was and that natural tobacco, it's really high in the nicotine, tobacco nicotina, and he said, but when they took over the country, they turned it into dark leaf. And they used it to control the workforce and stuff, and they stripped it of its magic. And I remember right there thinking, dude, I hope I knew in my soul that was going to happen to weed, but I was like, I hope it doesn't happen. And it's just like that's what in my own work, that's what I'm trying to keep from happening, dude. Because once it was light leaf, and it is dark leaf now.
Yeah, that's where we come, and it is crazy. And like again, you guys bringing back the ultra or preserving like work that you've done, found works, all that is what it's about, man. These dudes, and I always say this with no disrespect to like breeders that are up and coming or whatever the case may be, but it is hard now to become a breeder because you guys are just really crossing other people's stuff. And if that's what you're doing, that's sort of like you might as well work these lines and think about it like and wait and not just be releasing like menus of stuff, man. Like work these lines, work these guys' lines to the point where you're happy and it's something new and something different, with what you guys started with. So
some of the best breeders out there are just you never even heard of them.
exactly.
They're just doing it. They have stuff that bro, You know what I mean? There's real people out there that yeah, they're not doing it for the fame or the name. And that's what's
No.
also appealing about like feminized seeds is like you don't need a fucking brand. You just need 55-gallon drums.
And the people that are doing it for themselves, that's it. Like the dudes that really are invested in their own, you know, what they like, that's it right there. And a
One
lot
of
of
my
guys, you know,
yeah, one of my main dudes that I do a lot of shit with up here, he ain't even a weed dude. He just loves weed so much. He has more cuts and stuff than most growers. He's just a collector and he works in a whole different field and stuff. And it's just like that dude just does it for the pure love of it. And he likes to get high, which is cool.
all right, says ask Shiloh what's up with that lemon pineapple gas.
Dude, did you see that on like I just post the pineapple lemonade? I know if Dan's still on here, he saw it, but it was on. That's the mother. It is the lemon skunk, lemon OG. And that is hit with the F4 in the pines, pineapple Thai master kush. So that's just the mother. And then the father is the F4 818 headband. And the pineapple lemonade, if you go to my page and check it out, there's like he found a gas pheno in that already. So this one's extra gassy, but it looks amazing, bro. And that's more like, bro, that's on some more candy citrus line. That's not like full gas, as my boy Dust would say, and those greenhouse dudes. But a lot of the stuff is full gas. The Tapache is another one. My homies are growing out there in Minnesota, and he said it's like a Mountain Dew, a Mexican Mountain Dew in a plastic bottle. Bro, send me the cut. Say less.
Right? Shit.
And then yeah, you know, almost anything. I got Kobayashi fans. That's a little less gas, but I got a guy that's growing exclusively Kobayashi. If you're like into berries, and
okay, here.
and then oh, bro, I got a couple that I just some other ones that I'm getting to Gasunomi. That one's crazy. I haven't dropped that one yet, but just yeah, buy these or that's like there's like what is this? At least 15 strains I think available on the website, and if you just have the whole list up there, and I can just
all up there.
Ship you stuff too.
Yep, that's all up there, and I'll be back. Anybody that orders today, just know I will be back on the 17th. So you know, give me a little.
Yo, let's do this too till the end of the month. Let's do 2 packs of 97 Super Sour for one.
Let's do it. Okay, you heard it here. So I'll make sure I get that on the site. So if you guys are going to go with the
put that up there, because it's really it's just really more important to spread it out. You know what I mean? So
all right, so we're gonna do that. So the super sour, I'll do 2 for 1. It'll be on there. You guys will have to give me a couple of, you know, give me till the morning. Just know it'll be there by the morning. I'll make sure it's on there tonight.
It's Christmas. Buy one for your friend.
That's it right there, and we'll figure out. You know, Christmas is coming up. There's already sales on there, so you guys go look at the packs that are on sale. That's a really good deal. The ones that are on sale, and super fair on the ones that are a little bit more. I can't really talk that stuff on here because just can't. But just know you guys should just go to the site and check it out. All right, so for Marcus, real quick, any super skunk crosses in the future?
Yeah, actually, I hit the F2s that I made. I made a real nice female selection, and I hit that with an F4 NL2 by NL5 male, and they need to be tested. But yeah, in the near future, I can see me dropping them.
Okay. Where are we? The total devastation sounds fire. Oh, where does the headband come from?
Like it. There's nothing like that strain. It's gonna put you in the lane of your own, really. Like it's just it's art, really. Like it's really there as well as in the pines, but I didn't make it in the pines. That's just, you know, from the legacy, you know, that's preservation, but total devastation.
Elvia, where does the headband come from?
The headband comes from my homie Woe is Weed, and I believe it was the 56 day headband. I'll have to verify that.
What do we got? OGs are created. Let's go. And I'm trying to hurry up a little bit. That's why I'm not. We only have 13 minutes left. I told you guys we're gonna end at 10 o'clock tonight. I was gonna try to keep, Professor P, and Shiloh for 2 hours. But since he's not here, I'll try to maybe we'll see if I could have both of them on maybe together next week or the following week. And we'll go an hour or two at that point. There's only a baker's dozen. So I remember the big Purina dog chow burlap bags. Yeah. Oh yeah, those burlap bags. Oh,
Yeah, weed really came in that shit, huh?
yeah, the burlap bags.
Way before turkey bags,
Yeah.
vacuum sealers.
Okay, so they said the buy one get one on the F2 or the BX.
On the original 97 Super Sour, we would call it a F1 generation, I guess, but like I have my thoughts about that being incorrect. So the first generation 97 Super Sour, the first crossover was made, and that's the one.
There you go. I got some Loompas headband, the Stardog. Loompas definitely. Oh shit! Don't mind, man. Just put study all the time. All right, guys. This is you guys got.
In some of those headband crosses, there is actually the headband strain, and then there's the 818 headband, not to be confused. So the 818 headband is the one that's been worked into F7, and that's a sour OG original from Oregon Kid, and then Swerve, and then Simon Perfect. So there is actually the headband, like on Permanent Vacation, it's the headband crossed with the 818 headband. So, and then it's crossed back with the F5 8. I mean, brother, like who doesn't want a Permanent Vacation? Let's read that again. Headband by the F4 818 headband is the mother. The father is 818 headband F5. That's fucking wow. I'm just like the amount of breeding that went into strain like that is multiple generations.
Yeah, yeah. I think about that when I'm listening to stuff, and I'm like, it's a lot of work, man. I don't see many people at all working these lines to the point where what we drop with you is worked. To be honest.
Yeah. And get them now before I decided to start charging $50 per generation of breeding on each side. That's what I think kind of is actually fair for any strain. If you just made a cross of seeds, $50, boom, your first generation. You put 2 generations, they're worth $100. You put 3, they're worth 150, maybe 25. But I just think there should be I don't know. It's just an idea.
What's the most creamy taste strains you can recommend?
Like
from what we dropped. I don't care about anybody, So
I don't know if we have the head charge up there, but that Robert Street Congo cross.
I'm not sure if we do. What was the name of it?
The head charge.
Yeah, that's up there. The head charge is up there.
And then everything's just kind of creamy, gassy, fucking limon. You want a little more lime pine in it, that Kimban. But yeah, Permanent Vacation. That's just pure fire.
All right, what do we got? I think that's pretty much.
Gaston Couture's been selling a lot.
Yeah, and those are some of the ones I think we lowered the prices on too. I think that was in there. You know the list better than me. I just don't have anything right here. So
Yeah, no, that one is. accidentally lowered the price in Dolly Lambo, but we let that slide for the people so they could
Exactly.
get a deal. Everyone, funds are tight for everyone these days. Yeah, bro, there's just too much fire to go. It's like a dream looking at these trains, and there's more to come up, and it's just like hard work after hard work and having an idea and intention, and you know that will live long after I do.
That's the idea.
That's
Shit.
the true legacy.
Yep. And Fem's coming soon. Next
Been
couple
coming
months.
soon, and I might just disappear into that and not even offer any of this anymore because I'll be in Ibiza, and I won't even have to be worried about this because it's like really get it while it's hot, get it well before
Get
it's
it while
hot.
you can. Shit, that's
Yeah,
part.
for sure, dude. I could very well just disappear into
Yeah.
entity in the shadows.
Yeah, y'all should make sure. Like I said, how many people are in here? Over 100 people in here right now. If you guys have not looked on the website yet, y'all need to go to the website and check out what's on there. The stuff that's on sale is insane because honestly, that was double the price, if not more, not long ago. So you guys should definitely jump on that. I know, Tim's in here. I know he grabbed some more. Um, don't hesitate. Go to the site, grab it up, buy yourself a Christmas gift.
Get the
Again,
2%.
anybody that look on the site, man, feel free.
Give your uncle some seeds for Christmas.
Right,
For your
aunts,
auntie.
cousins, brothers, sisters.
There's not one person that doesn't need 97 Super Sour in their life if they grow weed.
You know what, Frankie? This is a question that could take. This is like a whole live right here. I feel like this is a good time.
Yeah, you should get a panel together for this, but
Yeah, exactly. I think in-house is in here right now. I guarantee you, he'll probably come on and like to come on and talk about this. I'm sure Shiloh, we get P, we can get a whole bunch of people in here because I gotta have 10 people in here at a time. Not that I want that many because it's hard to have 10 people in a live talk,
yeah.
But
That's a
I will
deep
tell you
topic
this:
to hit at the end of the show.
this can be a topic that I get together a nice panel of people.
We don't
and
even know if that's gonna even crack.
Right, we don't know, but we can definitely get into it. I don't know if in-house is still in here or not, but I know he's probably got a whole bunch of opinions on it, and I'm sure they're all good ones. So we will figure it out. We still have a year. Just keep that in mind. We have a year, no matter what. The lobbyists, it's a multi-million, billion-dollar industry. Farmers, people, family, livelihoods. We'll see. So if I buy the packs tonight, I'll get the buy one get one. Yeah, you can buy it tonight. As long as if I see it come in tonight, even before I change it, leave in the notes, buy one get one. Not that I'm not gonna know, but understand I won't be back till the 17th. I'm down in Florida. When I get back and go and start to fill those orders, you have to just bear with me a little bit. If you buy that tonight and you leave in the notes, buy one get one, I'll be like, oh shit, okay, cool. I mean, it'll be changed tomorrow anyway, but just make sure you leave it in the notes. Not a problem. All good. All right, so any savory flavor strains from Jesse?
Like a meat pie or something.
I'm just reading it. What do you mean? Can you give us exactly what you're asking for?
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, Total Devastation does have some dessert qualities of like, so that's not really savory. That's more of sweet, but I don't. I don't know. I don't. My brain's trying to wrap around savory tastes like chorizo cake and
like garlic and onion. Oh, that's what someone just said. I don't think that was him that asked it though.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say Skunky Komodo, some of that kosher, or the Dolly Lambo. Those both have kosher. Tends to be a bit more of like a savory type of kush. I would say it's kind of creamy.
Yeah, Juan, you could hit crypto at checkout. There's an option of checkout for crypto. Just know that. So not a problem. What do we got? What's available? Raunchiest strain. What's the raunchiest strain you currently have available? Raunchiest strain.
I mean, they're like neck and neck. Primitive Vacation. Some of those other ones, like the Apex. Just shut the fuck up. Super Banger. Super Band. Just a lot of rank bull. I do have a strain somewhere ranked bull. I think that's what I won the gold medal at the state fair a couple years back with.
Hot dog down the hallway.
Man, they're coming. They got like every. This is funny. Do the comments. What the fuck? Yeah,
Like,
are funny.
yeah,
It's just all like, hot dog down the hallway, beef jerky, meat and onion gravy. Yeah,
yeah.
we understand savory, guys. All right, so listen, we got 3 minutes left, man. Any questions that come in, I'm gonna pin up. If not, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you guys I will have Charlotte come back at some point. I'll try to get him back here with Professor P. That's what we had planned for tonight for you guys. To be honest, I was gonna keep both these guys, but because P was sick, Professor P was sick, under the weather, I figure we'll just and I'm down here anyway. And I think we answered all your guys' questions. It was a pleasure having Marcus in here the whole time.
Thank you for having me, and gentlemen, Merry Christmas to
Yep,
you
Of
guys.
course.
Good meeting you.
Very good
Yeah.
meeting you. You all have a good night. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you got it,
Yeah.
brother. Merry Christmas, happy holidays
Thanks everybody
to
for coming.
you. Yeah,
Good
I
night, y'all.
appreciate. We got over
Good night.
100 people in here all night, so shout out to everybody showing up on a Thursday night. I know I usually do it Wednesday, but it just happened to be the last couple Thursdays. So I do appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the people that were in here tonight, and I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up now. So make sure you guys go to the
Go to the
website.
website. Go to the website.
Go to the
Anyway,
website.
peace out. Happy holidays to everybody.
All right,
See
brother.
you.
Happy holidays. I'll
All right,
hit you up sometime soon. Maybe we do this again within the next couple of weeks with P.
Yeah, let's do it for
So,
sure. Keep
all
it
right, brother. I
moving.
appreciate you, man.
All right.
All right. Everybody else, y'all stay safe. Happy holidays. Everybody have a good night. And I will see you guys next Wednesday night. Peace.